Hi guys, this is a narration from my book I Also Slept with Rashmi Verma, which I'm making into an uninterrupted digital web movie. And this is chapter 5 of the book. The chapter is called The Game of Kaun Utarega Iski Chaddi. The rain was about to fall and the monsoon season was around the corner, but the campus was abuzz with activity as the year's sports festival Punch View was in full swing. This was an all male testosterone affair. The men played football, cricket, and participated in athletics, while the women stood out on the ground and oogled at their toned bodies. You know, Rachna, what people say to me? कि रश्मि के सारे यार तो शकूर बस्ती वाली टीम में हैं. My God, there are 12 guys in the Shakur Basti team. And I did not sleep with all of them, yeah. Rachna was bemused and said in an excited tone, शकूर बस्ती में ही क्यों तेरे यार तो हर मस्ती में है. Both ladies had a great laugh at this and retired for tea. Sports festival was the worst time for me because I played no sport at all. Apart from swimming, I was not interested in sports. I had only two loves on campus. One was Charas and the other was Ani. Yes, Ani Bahal, the Gaddar of Bareilly, my closest friend and smoking partner. Without him, I was always lost, as I did not know how to roll up a joint even. We both found a quiet corner and I took out a piece of perfectly brown charas that smelled like the heavens of Manali. Ani would keep rolling the joints and I would keep talking. Our discussions would range from marketing to books to women and so on. Ani was my constant companion on campus. He was lean but had a strong, well built upper body. He was also as tall as I was, I guess. The most striking feature that he had was his nose, which was long and pointed. I was the Kashmiri, but it was Ani who had the Kashmiri's nose. He also loved wearing corduroy jeans. He wore big, full-sleeve t-shirts and kept his hair curly. Due to excessive charas smoking, Ani had developed a very weak short-term memory, but his long-term memory was very sharp. He knew all his ancestors and would delight me by telling stories of his great-grandfather who was a Gaddar because he helped the British during the Indian Mutiny. Due to this, he was rewarded by the British generals and given an entire Haveli full of ancient treasures along with lots of gold. And he was a man of such dubious pedigree. The great-grandson of one of the famous Gaddars. According to his story, his great-grandfather enjoyed an opulent life. You know, yaar, he rarely stopped out of the Haveli, and when he did only on his 7-horse carriage. He smoked only Sobrani cigarettes with a filter tip. He was very fussy about his food, but he enjoyed the best mutton and Mughlai chicken money could buy. I would love to hear Ani's stories about his grandfather. I love the fact that he didn't work his entire life. Now that's a rich man if I know one. I was later on to realize that I myself had a latent desire to be like Ani's great-grandfather, just chill and do nothing. But he was no fool. He taught himself 8 languages and was a master in history and geography. He enjoyed watching dance and had courtesans who would dance for him during the evenings in the verandas of the Haveli. He never worked his entire life. After all, everything was served to him. He was a bit like you see. You want your charas rolled off for you all the time and served to you on a platter. We both laughed and then, like good mates, kept our hands on each other's shoulders and walked away in the lawn. I really liked him. He was well read, poetic, smoked pot, and was a bit of a rebel as he had dropped out of the economics facility in DU. So he was no fool. After all, he managed to get into the college through legal means. His stories about his legendary Haveli fascinated me as much as my stories about England, Manchester, and the jungles of Africa fascinated him. We both fascinated each other with our stories, and our bond rested on two things: charas and fascinating stories. We both had a bag full of both, and we would get lost in them completely whenever we met on campus. There were days that we would drive away from the campus in the night and, like two forgone lovers, drive all around Delhi only to return in the morning for breakfast, smoking pot all the way through the night. We would drive to Delhi University to have chang beer in a Sikkimese joint and stuff ourselves with momos. However, our conversations and stories went on and on through the drive. We would climb up the Majnu Ka Tila, sit there and smoke. Sometimes we would wait until the sunrise and then drive back. So close was our friendship that I decided to skip all the finance exam papers and not give them up at all. I flunked both my finance papers and I was proud of it. There was also talk on campus that we were gay lovers. That close was our bond. Nonetheless, I can say with all truth and honesty that I have only kissed Ani once, and this was at the year-end party. Apart from that, there was no physical intimacy. No sir, Ani was not gay. He had two women in his life. After all, one was Shivani and the other was Shivya. Both loved him and he loved them both. There was a time both would visit him on campus. In the morning, Shivya would come and in the evening, Shivani. There were also times both would land up together at the same time. I never knew how the hell he managed, but I would always be on the lookout and warn him when the other was coming. Ani would read poetry to the girls and entertain the girls with his dimpled smile and infectious banter. Ani would lend them his best comics and music CDs, and the girls would return the favor. In what way? Well, I leave that to you. There were times that I would ride away with Ani to a nearby fields in my Maruti 800 in search of herbs. We had a great contact called Ramchand. He was a local farmer in the village and he supplied us with pot and highest quality. We would lose ourselves in the fields, at times not realizing that our car had run out of petrol. Abey, we have been smoking here for so long, the motherfucking tank has dried up. Now how the fuck will we get back? I would wake up from my jealous dream and try to start the car and then realize that we had run out of gas. We would push the car all night through the farm, the nalas and the gutters of the village, and all for what? A few tolas of pot. And he had a very effeminate style of sitting. He would always sit cross-legged like a babe with short tight skirts. He was as sensitive as the girls. It was maybe because of his pronounced feminine side that he was able to pull more chicks than I was. After all, I had only my Miss Verma to boast, and I knew in my hearts of hearts that I still hadn't laid her. But how could I be sure that Ali was laying with Shivani, or for that matter Shivya? I hadn't seen them make out either. Not yet, at least. There was pandemonium in the men's lobby. It was Rashmi Verma chasing Mithul Sareen in the lobby. He was running all over in his chaddis and Rashmi was trying to pin him down to the wall and smooch him. It had become a daily affair. Ani and I passed by when Ani said, Rashmi, इस बेचारे बच्चे को तो छोड़ दे यार. Back came the reply, ये नहीं तो तू ही आजा राजा, तू ही तो बरेली का खालिस मर्द है. I always felt embarrassed when Rashmi Verma acted like this, but I kept my rage within. The other game that the seniors liked to play was Kaun Utarega Iski Chaddi. This was a unique game in which a group of seniors would gang up against one junior and strip him naked by opening and tearing his underwear. This was a ritual in which male pride and dominance was established. One day, the wrath of the gods fell on me. Jatin Verma, Kaul and the rest of the seniors had zeroed in on me. It was summer and I liked to pour water on my body and drench my bed before I went to sleep. The cool water would evaporate and put me to sleep. I lay all wet and naked except for my chaddis on. I looked like Sri Devi in the song Kaate Nahi Katti Ye Din Ye Raat. Bang, the door opened. It was Jatin Verma. Ha 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 ha. ये मैनचेस्टर का गोरा यहाँ है. ये आज हमारा शिकार बनेगा. With these words, these hungry vultures pounced on me. They tore my sheet and attacked me like hyenas. I ran for cover through the lobby, but they did not relent. My roommate Raizada saw this. He could not take it and jumped to my defense. Soon, this became a seniors versus juniors ball. I lay half naked with my torn chaddis. At this point, I felt like a woman who had been raped and tormented. But Raizada was fighting the hyenas, and soon Aniljit Bacher and Yogi Chopra also came to our rescue. It was a WWF match gone wrong, and soon it turned into a free-for-all. Buckets of water, belts, and even broomsticks were picked up and used as projectiles, objects, and brahmastra. There was mayhem all around. I was on the floor, almost down and out. I had no choice left but to attack, and so I did. I got him bang in the balls. Yeah, Jatin Verma. I was not much of a fist fighter, but when it came to underarm tactics, I was too good. I used to be very good at it. I was not much of a fist fighter. I specialized in below the line tactics. That is what I did exactly. I grabbed the motherfucker by the balls and squeezed it till there was no tomorrow. He had no choice but to relent and fall on the floor with pain as I squeezed harder and harder, and he screamed harder and harder. He was going red now and screamed with pain. He was almost choking. The bastard was dancing so closely with Rashmi in the freshers party. I thought about it and squeezed even further. I remember the scene. His hands were all over my Miss Verma. I pressed on the gas and squeezed even harder. He started choking and croaking. It had been over 20 minutes that I had been squeezing his balls. Finally, he looked as if he was about to faint. This is how I managed to save myself from the rapist who had come to rape me. I was glad that, like a true friend, Raizada had stood by me and tried to save my honor. My ball grab move finally saved my life. I told Annie about this. Yaar, the seniors, they almost raped me. But my ball grab move saved me. Annie smiled and said, "Smoke up, bro, smoke up. I have prepared a fat bazooka for you." But to think of it, it would be fun to grab your balls, yeah. His expression was very loving and he was very close to me at this point. I took a drag of my joint and slowly slipped out of the room. End of chapter. Thank you.